Greetings, folks. Today we are going to see land use classification in in ArcGIS. So at first I'm going to import my data, Landsat 8 data. So we are going to use band 1 to 7. Yeah, hold shift and click band 7. I didn't select a band 1. I'll do that later. Yeah, let's again import last one. Okay, so I have imported band 1 to 7 and 1 to 7 actually. So let's go to this Windows tab and image analysis. Now it's time to create a composite map, and there's another way of making composite. You can use the toolbar for compositing, but I find this image analysis tool quite easy one. Okay, so hold shift and click the last one. Okay, all of them are selected. Now go to this here. You can see mask, it's not here, composite bands. So we are going to click on it, and it's going to create a composite mask here, you can see. So now I'm going to delete rest of the bands, remove them. Now it's a bit weird 111, but it will be okay. Everything will be fine when you clip it on your study area. So let's see all 111. 4, 3, 2. That is natural color image, and my study zone is this side. You can see by natural color image, these are some vegetation, sorry, croplands. Okay, this is water and built up areas, and here is some what densely vegetated areas, that is forested areas. Now if the image is not, this image is actually very bright one, if not bright very in new case, then select this one and click on this DRA tool. Okay, now you can see things are a bit more clear or more bright. Okay, now let's say for example 7, 6, 4. That's a good one for built up areas identification and also vegetation areas. At the same time water, you can see this is water. So this bright or dark green colored area is actually forested area, we can say woodland. Now before we move on to our classification, let's see one example. So this example is actually, you can use this as a reference. It's in Google Earth Engine. Now you can see we have some classes, many classes, and annual crops are a bit yellow color. This one. Now you're going to see what they classified as croplands. Okay. So yeah, you can say annual crops. These are actually annual crops. They used ground truth data, that's why their accuracy is high. They are sure about which one is what. Okay, so now let's see the croplands. You can see these areas, they're classified as cropland. These are also, they could have classified this one or this one bare soil maybe, but they didn't, because it's, I'd say it's legitimate to classify this thing as cropland, because maybe in this season it's not a cropland, but in another season they will plant some crop here. So yeah, and this dark green one is actually woodlands. You can see here. You can also see this article. This one is the article. They used Google Earth Engine. I have also uploaded one video on Google Earth Engine in Google Earth Engine. You can, if you're interested, you can see that. Now back to our ArcGIS. So let's see some bare soil. We are going to again 4, 3, 2. Now this zone seems to be bare soil. This one, yeah. Normally people would select them as bare soil, but they are not bare actually. These are a bit. These are actually grasslands. Now, how am I sure about it? Right here. It's actually bare, but it's quite less amount. Let's go to 76464. Now you can see these are actually green. It's not vegetationless. Just over here, it's a bit of what bare soil. That's a bit of bare soil. Okay, so we can classify them as grassland. This one also, yeah, or whatever it is, but it's a new class. It's okay. Now we are going to see how to use Ndvi to be more sure about where is bare soil and where is uh, vegetation area. Now, if we move to this part, you'll see these are actually right now there's no no vegetation. Okay, so now you're going to calculate NDVI and see how to, yeah. So you need to go to this, click on this bar tab, and you can see red band is 4, okay, and infrared band is 5 for what? For Landsat 8 image. If it was Landsat 7, then it would be 3, 4. Okay, now if you are interested in calculating built-up area index, then you need to change it 4 to 5 and 5 to 6. Then it would be a built-up area index. Okay, so okay, now we are going to select this image and on this leaf, click on this leaf. Okay, and DPI. Now it's going to make one. Yeah, we got our NDVI image. Now go to properties, then symbology, and make it classified. Yes. It's going to take some time. Okay, now you're going to classify it into two different classes, and we're going to use threshold 0.2. Less than 0.2, we'll think higher NDVI value less than 0.2 are not vegetated. Okay. Now, if you have doubt, you can change that to 0.18. Okay. So let's give it a different color. Okay. So everything blue are vegetated and everything a bit yellow are not vegetated. So you can see water has low NDVI value. So we are talking about this zone. Okay. Now you can see, yeah, for swipe tool, let's activate the tool. Yeah. Now you can see just everything is green, but just here over here there is no vegetation actually. That's why it's in yellow color. And this road is also, you can say, it's a better area. This road is in yellow color. So in NDVI, using NDVI, you can easily extract what is or differentiate what is a built-up area or something other than vegetation. Okay, what is vegetation and everything else. So you can see here NDVI is low because it's a built-up area. Here it's water body. Okay, so now we are going to do what? We're going to clip our region, this image for our study region. Okay, now to clip, Control F. I am going to use this masking, but before that you need to open your what study zone shapefile. I have already digitized on shapefile. It's quite simple. If you don't know how to do that, you can watch my tutorial of what ArcGIS for beginners. How is it? Yeah. So this is my study area. It's a small one. Okay, now we're going to use this masking. Mask by extract by mask by special analyst tool from. Okay, now here is our raster one. We're going to use that composite one. Then shapefile the Netherlands. Okay, I'll give it a name. So okay. All right, our clipping is done. Now let's say it. Yeah, it's a bit dark one. It's sometimes the case. So it's good to again export this data. Okay, export as a TIFF file. I'm exporting it. Yes. Let's delete this one. Now you can see our, yeah. Now the bands are in 1, 2, 3, 4 in order. 7. Let's say 4, 5, 4, 3, 5, 4, 3. Yeah. So using this 5, 4, 3 color combination, you can now easily see that this area is actually a this one, actually a forest land. And let's go to this Windows Image Analysis tool. Yeah, let's see if DR is. Yeah, now it's a bit bright. So now we are going to what do our classification. For our classification, you need to open this classification window. Sorry, toolbox. You need to check this image classification tool. Okay, then you'll have this one, and right here you need to choose your TIFF file or this one. Okay, so everything is fine. This one is a bit messy. Delete one. Ndvi. Okay, and keep Ndvi. We'll use that. So now for training data, you need to click. Yeah, click on here. This window will pop up. Now we are going to take samples. Let's start with what water bodies. So for water bodies, I will use 7, 6, 4. Yeah. Now do let's create samples. I'm going to use polygon. Okay. All these things are water. Okay. Let's see. So you need to give as much as possible samples. Okay. The more samples you have, more accurate your model will be, classification will be. But you need to provide qualityful samples. If your samples are noisy, then it's not going to be a good one. And I find this what ArcGIS isn't very good when your study area is a bit long one. You have a large study area, but Google Earth Engine is quite okay on that with respect to this task. Okay, so we're done with taking samples. Now it's time to merge all of them. So hold shift and click it. Okay, now here you can see merge training samples. Merge it, and class 1, let's name it water. Okay, now we are going to take samples from, let's say, built up areas. You can see over here these are all. Let's take some samples from this road. Okay, now we're done with built up region. Let's merge them all. Built up. Okay, now it's time for bare soil. I don't see much bare soil here, but we can certainly classify this region as a bare soil. Yeah, we could have classified it as what? I'm not going to take any more sample for it. Let's see our Ndvi. Now again 4 3 5 4. What is this one? This one also you can classify as bare soil. I think it seems like bare soil. So, oh no, it's not bare soil. Delete this one. So yeah, our Ndvi said here there's some bare soil. Let's see what's there. I don't see any bare soil. This is actually built up area. Okay, so I think that's it for bare soil. There's nothing more bare. Okay, now let's take these samples. 764 again. We're going to consider them as grasslands. Okay, this one maybe, yeah, this one, let's see. Now you can also go to what Google Earth Pro and see what are really there. You can see that here it's a bit of what this one is bare soil, easily you can see that, but this one isn't bare totally. You can see here a bit of what vegetation, yeah, but this is a bit like forest, woodlands, so we're going to classify it as forest. This one also woodland. So let's take some more samples. This sample taking part is actually tedious one. Okay, I am not going to take more samples just to save our time. Grassland, okay. Now let's take samples for vegetation. Let's say forest. Yeah. I'm going to also classify what this one as woody soil, woody vegetation. Yeah, fine. Happy with that. I think yeah. So let's merge them. Woodland. So we have a water built up here, grassland, woodland. Let's see another one is which sorry cropland. Croplands. I'm just taking randomly. You need to be more careful. Well, we could have used our Ndvi for selecting bare soil. So now we have all of our classes. We have 6 classes. Now it's time to save it for classifying purpose. Create a signature file. Okay. Now I need to name it SH signature. It's in desktop. Okay. Save it. Fine. We have saved, created our signature file. Now it's time to do what classification. So we are going to use this maximum likelihood classification. Click on it, then input raster bands. Our raster bands are this one, first one, twice. Yeah. So input signature file. Now I'm going to select that signature file in desktop. Yeah, SIG, this one. Now our output folder, CLS. Okay. Now everything is fine. Click OK. Now it's going to run. Yep. So our classification is done. Now you can see our water is correctly classified, but here it's not. What are these things? Let's see. We should have taken some samples from here. That's why it's not correctly classified. This water zone. We didn't take any sample from here. So I find this modeling in Google Earth, sorry, in ArcGIS is a bit tedious one. You need to give huge samples. But in Google Earth Engine, I would say that wouldn't be a matter. Okay, so here our water body is now in this color, and let's change our colors. Let's say water is blue. Okay, then the second one is built up areas. Make it red. Okay, then the third one is bare soil. Bare soil, make it yellow. Okay, so you can see these are all bare soil. I think our classified image is, oh yeah, now okay. So the third one is grassland. Grassland, let's say white. Okay, then woodland is dark green. Yeah, and then finally our cropland. Cropland is light green. Yeah. So you can see that our model is quite good when we are going to classify what this built up regions. Yeah, it's quite good. And bare soil is white. It wasn't able to classify bare soil properly. We have to provide more samples actually. Yeah. So did that actually coloring work? Let's change it to what cyan. Okay, now you can see, yeah, it worked. It chose all of them as bare soil because it's a maximum likelihood classification, so it inferred all of them as. So here is our grassland. It's 38. Oh, it's grassland, yeah, fine. Bare soil, just this yellow one. Okay, so here, over here, we classified them as yellow, and then here also, just from where we have taken samples. So you can also see that we successfully classified roads as well, clearly. Okay, now it's time to see the what uh, areas for each classes. And now you can see our raster resolution is 13. For area calculation, we are going to properties. No, not properties. Open attribute table, and we are going to create one field. Let's say area, and it's going to be integer. So for floating point, it's double. Okay, now click here and go to field calculator. Okay, now area is count. I first going to use bracket, um, bracket, opening bracket and close it. And inside it, we're going to pass this count and multiply it by our what resolution image two times. Okay, now I need to divide it by 10 to the power 6 for units in kilometers square. Okay, 10 to the power e to the power 6. Okay, so count 30 30. I think that's it. Okay, fine. Now you can see all the areas are here. We are going to create another field. That's the classes CLASS. It's going to be a text file for classes like which one is water, build up, etc. etc. So first one is water. Oh, you need to start editing. So first one is water, then so that's it now. Stop editing. Yes, everything is done. Now we are going to do, we don't need this one anymore. Go to properties and symbology. Here value, we are going to use classes, add values, yeah. So apply, that's it, water. Okay, so now you can change the colors. So that's it. That's how you can do classification in ArcGIS. You need to put more samples to be more accurate in ArcGIS. Okay. So I hope you find this video useful. If you have any questions or suggestions, let me know in the comment section. Okay. Thank you for watching. I hope I will see you in my next video.